Brittany from Smyrna asks, I grow my garden in my apartment's common area with very limited sunlight. How can I make the most of this situation?
How can I make the most of a situation? What was it? Apartment garden, lot of shade. Um, all right, apartment. Just to kind of diagnose the problem a little bit. When you're talking about apartment, you're talking about high traffic areas. You're talking about stuff that you might have the maintenance guy come by and not really treat it as well as you would like. And you don't have the deer problem per se, so that's out. But you probably have a lot of root. What I found is a lot of like root competition. They probably already planted the maples, so you're always kind of working within existing landscape, existing root structures. So right off the bat, I'm already thinking about nutrification and making sure that whatever you grow has a good soil base. Because again, if it's an older apartment, you're dealing with a lot of competition from previous stuff. So bringing in that compost, bringing in the worm castings, depends on what you're planting. But right off the bat, I think that gets you into a situation where you're going to do well. Or plant suggestions, y'all. What are y'all thinking?
I personally love shade gardening. It's one of my favorites. And I had a spot at my parents' yard on the side of their house where there's a silver maple, and silver maple's roots are literally impossible to dig through. So what I did is containers. Containers are awesome. You can do a bunch of grouping of containers out there, different colors, different sizes, and then that enables you to plant right in those containers ferns, hosta, heucheras, K-rex, all kinds of beautiful things. You could even put some camellias if you want to do some shrubs in pots. But when you get that root mat down there, it's really hard to get stuff to grow when it's competing with those trees. So I love pots.
I can only second that. I think that's one of the best ideas to really deal with established root bound problems. If she doesn't have even that root bound problem, though, like let's say there isn't any trees and it's just a shady area, I mean, there is fantastic shade plants. And if you are in an apartment complex, it's very likely you don't have a deer problem. So you can actually go bazinga with all those hostas and all the things that deer actually like. So I think there's so many different hostas that can even be paired together well, or pulmonarias, heucheras, so many great ferns and different like shapes that you can use. The heucheras especially, there's so many colors. It doesn't really matter if you have flowers or not.
Any varieties you're most interested in now for the heucheras? Ooh,
Oh, there he goes. Look at that.
who's
Which one
Love
is
this
that?
one. This one is citronelle.
Citronelle.
It's
Take
an, it's
it.
an old it's an old school one, but I love its color. Berry smoothie is another really awesome one too.
I see, and then on the citronelle color, there is a new one called Lemon Love that is really, really nice for the
Ooh.
south because it doesn't burn as easy. So if you do have more of a parchate area, I would probably go away from either chartreuse or take one of the newer ones. I absolutely love wild berry. It literally has like the
Yes.
color of my shirt. This amazing purple. I think it's a year-round color that works. So that's my top.
Yeah.
Michelle? Any
I'm
ideas?
I love the idea of doing just a hosta, like you said, lungwort. That's one of my favorite perennials that I've planted in the shade because of that silver color. I actually really tried to keep runner alive, but have not done a great job of that. I love silver in shady spots and like that all silver leaf. I wanna keep it alive, but I have not had any luck. But yeah, I love the idea of a beautiful shady garden that's just a mix of foliage colors.